Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 18 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Rob Madden. Yay, Rob! Thank you so much for your support on Patreon. And he wants to know, do I think the competitions are better this year now that they have Trevor Boris from Big Brother Canada on the comps team? That's a great question. First of all, I'm so excited about Trevor being a part of this season. I think he's awesome. And I'm not sure yet if the competitions are better than usual. We've seen a few so far and they were pretty cool. But I'm really hoping that now that he's on the team, maybe they'll bring in some more Big Brother Canada style like tasks throughout the week on some of the slower days, like the secret missions. I think that would be fun. And if they had some sort of like animal mascot like Marsha the Moose, but it was like an American one, he could totally do the voice and it would be amazing. So let me know what you guys think about the competition so far in the comments. And if you want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so yesterday, Natalie and Bronte were having a strategy chat in the backyard, and we got some good information here from this chat, a good look at Bronte and Natalie's gameplay. So first of all, Bronte is saying Victor is one of the biggest threats in the house right now, and Natalie's like, yeah, he's smart, he's on our side, and we need to keep it that way. So she wants to see him stay around for a while, even though he's a big threat. For this week, their target is still Pauly. And they have no idea, well, they have some suspicions that Jose could be going this week, but they're pretty sure that Pauly will be going. So Bronte is like, yeah, I was talking to Paul, and he wants the two of us to go to Final 5 with him, Jose, and Victor. So the girls are like, oh yeah, that's great, except we know the guys are going to cut us at the Final 5. Like, they're going to stick together and get rid of us. So they're like, we need girl power, we need a girl to win this season. So they're like, the two of us obviously are sticking together, and they have the Spy Girls alliance with Bridget, but they don't fully trust her. They feel like she's a little wishy-washy right now, and she's definitely the third wheel in that alliance, so that's pretty interesting. And then Bronte says that if she wins HOH next week, she wants to put up Corey and Blondie. She called Nicole Blondie. For real. But that's a pretty bold nomination. I don't know. I think that's pretty bold, but good for her if she's going to do that. I don't want to see Nicole up on the block, but I guess it's a good move for Bronte. So last night we saw the HOH phone in action, which was pretty exciting. I feel like they haven't been using it that much so far. But James was up in the HOH and he called downstairs, but he ended up hanging up right before Frank got to the phone, and Frank knew it was James. He was like, mother effer. Not really. But anyway, Paul and Pauly had an interesting chat in the backyard. Freaking Pauly is pulling this crap off. He was acting like he doesn't have the votes, and he's like, yeah, it looks like things aren't going to go in my favor. So he was saying that he's just going to be enjoying the time that he has left. Oh my god. And Paul was buying it. Paul was like, oh, come on, man, don't give up. Don't just kick the bucket. So he's like, maybe if you have a good speech before the eviction, you can flip some of the people on the fence. And Pauly was just like, I don't know, man. I don't think that's really going to do anything. Yeah, because everyone already has their minds made up to get rid of Jose. Duh. So Nicole and Day kind of analyzed some of their alliances last night. Again, we get a good look at their game. So Nicole is getting kind of nervous that James has been spending so much time with Natalie and Bronte. Like, yeah, they're on his team, but still, Nicole's like, I don't talk to anyone on the other side. Well, I think that's pretty dumb. But she's getting nervous that he's been spending so much time with them. So Day is like, no, he's with us. Like, he is getting information from them, and he comes and brings it to me. So it's like all good. I'm sure he's going to talk to you about it too. So then they were talking about going to the final 2 together, and we've heard a little bit of this a few days ago, but it came up again, and they feel like they're not going to be able to beat Frank or James in the final 2, and unfortunately I'd have to agree with them. If you look at past seasons, has a woman ever beat a man in the finals? I don't think so. Not in the US anyway, which is disheartening, but they feel like they're not going to be able to beat them. Also, they don't want to be in the final two against a newbie either, because the newbies are going to be all, you had your chance, but it's our turn. So they're like, the only logical thing is to go to the end together. How crazy would that be if Nicole and Da'Vonne were the final two? It'd be pretty sweet. So Da'Vonne is like, I'm not sure if we should stick with the Fatal Five or the vets to get to the end. So then they were thinking maybe we could get a newbie to get rid of Frank and James so that we don't have to do it. We don't get that blood on our hands. But that's like way down the line. Also, when it comes to the Fatal Five, they're worried that Tiffany's going to spill the beans to everyone because they feel like if she's under enough pressure, she is just going to tell everyone everything and it's not going to be good for them. So they definitely see Tiffany as the weak link in their group. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it's come up multiple times. So James and Nicole were then chatting by the hammock, and he was telling her all about his conversations with Natalie and Bronte. He's like, yeah, they want to vote with the majority this week. They think that the majority is voting to get rid of Pauly, so yeah. But James is like, just relax, like I'm undercover with those guys, but I am freaking loyal to the 8-pack, so don't you worry. So I think Nicole felt better after that with James, but then like a little while later, she was like, what's James doing with them again? Because he was hanging out with them again. And Frank and all them were just like, yo, he just likes hanging out with girls. It's okay. So then last night, the Fatal Five had a little hangout in the HOH room. And I think it was Da'Vonne who called them the Golden Girls, which I thought was hilarious. So they were having a little strategy chat, more of the same thing for the most part. James came up again and him hanging out with Natalie and Bronte. And then we heard a little bit about Nicole and Hayden. She was opening up about that whole situation. Apparently they broke up in February. She said they were like in different points in their lives. She wants kids, he doesn't. Long distance was difficult for them. It was so sad hearing that. Like, I really like them as a couple, but it's none of my business. So Paul, Bridget, and Jose, the Messiah, were chatting outside, and again, they are really, really confident about the votes. And Jose was like, after this week, we're not going to have to stress about anything. The whole rest of the summer is just going to be fun, fun, fun. Do you understand how this game works? I love how they think it's all going to happen in 1 week and then the rest of it's just going to be whatever. Do you understand how this game works? Apparently not. I'm pretty sure Jose only watched part of season 16. Yeah. So anyway, Natalie joined them outside, and she tried to freaking warn them of their impending doom. So she's like, well, I've been observing, and I think that Nicole, James, Frank, Michelle, Tiffany, Corey, and Pauly are all working together in an alliance. You know what? She's not far off. Get rid of Pauly from that group and add Day and Zakiya, and you have the 8-pack. So she wasn't that far off. But they're just like, nah, we got this. We got the votes. We're all good. No, you're not. So then, last night, there were two really, really late night convos. Pauly and Bridget, they were up together talking about life, talking about past experiences. And the only reason I'm mentioning this is because there was some, like, coziness there. Like, Bridget had her head on Pauly's pixels, and he was, like, stroking her arm or whatever. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because she's made this huge stink all season so far about how she cannot share a bed with a man because she's got a boyfriend back home. But this is okay. I don't know. And then we've got Jose and Paul, who were up until like 4 something in the morning, freaking being delusional for hours, talking about how famous they're gonna be after all this. You are not gonna host the Grammys, Jose. You'll be lucky if you get to watch the Grammys on TV. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But enough of that. This morning, Nicole, Day, Zakiya, and Frank were chatting in the HOH room, and the girls were asking Frank, like, what do you think of Bridget? What's the deal with her? So in the past, we've seen Frank vouch for Bridget to the rest of his alliance. They're all like, I don't know about her. I think she's spying on us and blah, blah, blah. And he's been like, no, she's cool. I trust her. It's all good. But now he's like, I mean, I'm cool with getting rid of her whenever. Like, I've been noticing that she's very naive. I'm seeing it more and more. He's like, she's in with the wrong crowd, so she's kind of blowing it. So Frank is like, no, we can get rid of her, whatever. So I think the girls were pretty happy to hear that. And then they were talking about who the first to go out of the 8-pack will be. So they pretty much all agreed on Tiffany. They're not so sure about her. So today also Nicole got the HOH camera. Yay! I thought this was kind of interesting. The Fatal Five were all taking pictures together at one point. And Nicole was like, wow, I hope they call me back to the diary room to take the camera because I don't want anyone looking back at these pictures and being like, hey, what's all this then? So then like a minute later, she got called to the diary room. So it seems like Big Brother wants to keep that under wraps. Okay. It's been a pretty uneventful day after that though. I mean, so far it's been pretty chill, but as we know, like all the crazy stuff happens at night. So I'm sure tonight will be no different. And we're only 2 days away from an epic blindside. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Jose is going to find out before the eviction that he's going? Let me know. And until tomorrow, much love.